A-R-Y, that spells Rotary.
This is the state of some computer labs in public middle schools in Tijuana. They have been teaching the use of this important tool theoretically by using drawings because they don't have the necessary equipment. Having a proper computer class will give students the opportunity to acquire the necessary abilities to have a better future. The Tijuana Agua Caliente Rotary Club is doing something about it. As of May 2020, we have equipped and inaugurated 8 labs, benefiting 4,400 students per academic year, and there are still many more labs to build. You can help students in public middle schools in marginalized neighborhoods in Tijuana have a better opportunity to succeed in life. Together, we can make magic happen and change their lives forever. Rotary opens opportunities.
All the members in our club, we fell in love with it. And there's a main reason for this. Of the many great things as we Rotarians do, and I don't wanna give more or less importance to everything is important, but of everything we do, this project sticks for a long time. This is a well-invested money. We are investing in our children's future and giving opportunity, widening up little minds. And the thing is that our school system does not provide this. They don't have the resources. They don't have the capacity to do it. And our whole school system is old-fashioned. We in Mexico have not upgraded our educational system to a modern need. The only class, because when we do a computer, let me tell you this, when we do a computer room or a computer lab, it becomes one of their regular classes like math or Spanish or chemistry. They have computer. So this becomes one of their classes. And let me tell you, this is the only class that puts our children in this time and era. So we all fell in love with this project. You have helped us with 2 computer labs. I want to get everyone's vote and heart in West Covina to vote when you have your meetings, when you do your voting, vote to keep on doing this project with us. Vote for yes, and I'm not talking about the nearby elections you're having next month. Vote yes on this product. This is a project. This is a beautiful project. This sticks, this stays, and this constantly helping. So it's a fantastic investment. And Javier, if you want to take it on for there, I just want to say thank you for your time and vote for this project. It does change lives and our kids really need it. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
The slide that just passed, it has to be updated. Talks about 6 labs. Now we're working on our 9th, and almost double the population of students. We're talking with this 9th lab over 6,000 students benefiting on this project. As Fran said, poverty areas in Mexico, we focus in Tijuana and we have one in Rosarito, don't have the potential, economic potential, and some students don't even know, haven't seen a computer in their lives. Right now with this COVID-19, the situation has been worsened because the 80% of these areas, poverty areas, 80% of the students don't have a computer at their house, so they're missing their computer classes. So we're working with the education system to see how we solve the problem and give them opportunity to have access to the computer labs for them to comply with their education. As Frank was saying, what we do, we upgrade their education in that era where computer is a must. Their labor offer uh, it's lacked without the computer. We so on these labs help us to upgrade their capacities, their labor offer, and have a better quality of life. We have right now with this ninth lab talking about 6,000 students per year. So there's a lot more to do, and your collaboration it's very well invested on these computer labs. So we appreciate as a club, as a family, how we've been working with you guys, and we're looking forward to do a lot more together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very nice.
Oh, just one more thing. With this computer, with this COVID, a lot of the demand of computers have risen a little bit the price in United States, where it's where we buy them, and well, we buy them from a company in Mexico, but they buy from United States. So it has increased a little bit, and once all the companies, computer companies, get the balance, we probably get to the same prices. Right now, I don't know if JC can tell us a little bit more about the prices that has increased on this COVID situation. Thank you.
Got a
JC?
question. Got a question.
Sure.
Okay. You're talking about providing the lab and the computers to 5,000 to 6,000 students per year. What I'm curious about is in the Tijuana area, what is the number of students that you would identify as really getting something out of participating in this, whether it be because they go to particular schools, whether it be because they are in a certain age range. But you got 5,000 to 6,000 students that you're dealing with now. But what is the total box, so to speak?
Yeah, the number of schools we have on list on this situation are 34. 34 schools. So as far as we keep advancing on the program, we'll be reducing the lacking situation of this education for these it's junior high students that
Okay.
we're focusing on.
So can I surmise that the 5,000 to 6,000 now is a bare fraction of the
Yes.
total number?
It is. Yes, it is.
So there's more work to be done.
Yes.
We have smaller schools and we have larger schools. We have schools with the morning shift or the morning classes and the evening classes. So everybody in the junior grades are taking advantage of this situation. So basically, the computer room, which has its own set of rules, comes in with a 30 to 40 student class every hour with its teacher. In some cases, it's the same teacher taking hands-on the computer class and the other classes. And in some cases, they have their own computer teacher. So these labs are shifting classes, and the kids are moving all around the school into the computer lab to take their class and learn about it.
Can I, now with COVID, are you having restrictions in terms of the number of students? Actually, we don't have students coming in class for a lot of the cities in America, right? So are you having the same restrictions, Frank, in terms of students not being able to go to the labs now because of the COVID, right?
Well, yeah, as I mentioned, there's restrictions of schools, and the governor just mentioned that for at least the 2020, there won't be a present classes in our education system. But the situation that we're facing is that on these poverty areas, 80% of those students don't have access to computers. So we're working with their school systems to see how we can they schedule with the distance and the rules of COVID, so they can have access to the labs and have their classes, because they're lacking on their full education. So that's what we're working on with this education system, to have them access to the labs.
Yeah, I'd like to make one comment. One thing that impressed me last year was that we went down and the school had one. I apologize for the tones. We went down. The school had one computer in the administration room before they installed the lab in it, and it was really, I mean, even that one computer, of course, was very restricted in its usage for the school and the teachers and the faculty. So this computer lab that gets installed in these schools for the students makes a huge difference to these schools. It is an enormous change.
And this project, does it only buy the hardware, or are we also providing funds go to software, you know, in terms of the software that
It's
they
full
need?
equipped. It's full equipped.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's the room. I don't know. You maybe saw it in the movie, but we'll have a movie available in for everybody. But the room is all networked, and they have a printer that they can use. And I think you guys have the same setup that we use up here for the classroom computers, where there's restrictions on internet and that type of
Yes.
right. Yeah.
And there's a rule that they have. We make an agreement with PTA, with the school directors, for them to follow the rules that we post on the big letters, and the signs of no eating and no drinking and this and that, and the locks for protection for internet users. All of that we're taking care of. And the schools where we work at is the one that has the security environment available. We don't do it to all of them because the security does not permit, and that we don't want to lose computers because of vandalism.
Right.
So there's a several points that we go on a checklist. There's a committee of our club that visits the schools and have the next in list, the next 3, 4, 5 schools, and at assembly we decide who takes the next lab according to those checklists that we have. We work personally to be able to adjust on these prices, on this budget. We personally go, we paint the school. Frank has a company, and he always gives a donation of all the letters, the signs, and all that. We buy the paint. Physically, we go and paint, as you saw it on the video, and that reduces a lot of cost, and that's part of our way of being able to adjust the budget.
I have one last question. This coming year, you're aiming to do this when? It's usually in February, I think, right?
Well, we do two to three per year.
Okay.
So as when we get the budget ready, then we order the computers, and then we all do the procedure of preparing the lab, and then we go install them, and then so it doesn't have to do with the any month of the year. As long as when we have everything complete, we do it.
Javier, I got two questions, two quick questions. One, have you had any problems with internet accessibility and quality?
No, not at all. We don't have a single report of
Right.
any situation of that kind.
And secondly, what about maintenance of the existing equipment and labs?
Okay, the agreement that we do with PTA is that, and the school directors, is exactly to make a very symbolic corporation. We're talking about 15 pesos, which is less than $1. The dollar is about 20 pesos per year per student, for them to keep update the software and maintenance. So that's been taken care of also.
A simple question.
Sure.
Has there been much vandalism with the computers or the lab or anything like that in any of the schools?
Okay, yeah, no report of any vandalism. I have to tell you, the first one we did, it was not at a school. It was at a community center that we work with. It's called La Granja, and it's one of the areas less secured of the city, and it was named one of the 3 more dangerous places in the world. About 10 years ago, the mafia was working there, and but somehow that got cleared. This community center, we've been working with them in different areas, and the 22nd of December, 3 years ago, a mafia group, went and stole computers from church, another community center, and ours. But that was they broke everything. But it was a very organized situation, and but that was the only one. And since then, we said we don't do community centers. We do schools that have the security solved. And
Right.
that's when we started doing the checklist of security. It's one of the elements that decide where we make the labs.
Good.
Very
have a
nice.
question.
Go ahead. What, last question?
Sure.
Who generates the curriculum for what they're learning in the computer labs?
Okay, there's well-prepared teachers on computer science. The problem is that they don't have the budget for the computer, so they teach on the blackboard. They paint a computer and say, this is a mouse, this is a screen, that's a way they do it, not with the computer physically. So they have the class, the teacher, but they don't have the computers. So we're providing the computers for them to be able to learn and practice with in computer science, that you need a lot of practice to do it. So that's the element we're doing together.
Well, thank you very much, Frank, for setting all this up, and all your Juan and Javier and all you guys coming up, joining us on our Zoom meeting. Really liked your video. It was really nice, and the slideshow. We'll be talking about the project this year, and I found out that Jose sent me a notice saying that he didn't get the link this week, so
Okay.
we will have to clean that up for him, but that's partially my fault, I guess. So we'll get him lined up too. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to switch over and have Joe do his craft talk, because he's got a meeting at 1 o'clock. So we want to give him a few minutes to go. So
Nice seeing you.
thanks guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sam. Be safe.
Bye-bye. Vicky, bye.
Be safe.
Bye, Pepe.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, take it away.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a staff meeting. We try to fit this in with lunch where we can. So thank you guys all for sharing your time today. I'm going to do a screen share really quick and go through some of my personal history here, and we'll get into the rest of my craft talk so everyone can see what I have shared right now. So thank you guys for being so welcoming to the Noontime Rotary. It's possible. So had great archetypes like that through sports. Football coaches to an old equipment manager that always took me out to lunch. I always had those people around that were there to support me. So he in particular pushed me to be college minded about what my next steps were going to be, and helped me get into a specific university where I got to play football and do a couple other things and earn some scholarship. Next, I'm going to show you kind of pictures of my family. So I have 3 kids, so this is what waking up looks like a lot of mornings. So that's Nate.
Oh, cute.
That's Nate on the left, Ben in the middle, and Allie. So we have 4. We had a child that passed away after Ben, our oldest. So scroll through really quick. I'm trying to see where I slid that picture in. This is the backyard on the swing set. So COVID has tightened us up as a family. A lot of family time, a lot of time with brothers and sisters. So there's a positive in there for what we're all dealing with right now. That's our daughter Sienna that we lost. So very important to my wife. My wife is actually becoming an advocate for child loss. So she's speaking tomorrow night at an event. So she's getting ready for that. So really kind of turned it into a positive to the extent that we were able to. This is me at Rotary. I have to report that I promptly was given that shirt by Dr. Alfaro and then promptly burned a hole right through the middle of it on the big elk pancake maker. They cranked it up like 3 degrees and the flames kind of breathe out the side. So I promptly burned a hole right through the middle of that shirt about 100 pancakes in. So if you don't see me wearing my Rotary shirt, it had to be retired. So I'll get one next year, I guess. So, but I use it to illustrate. I've always had a hand in helping out with that event. I know that's a big event for Rotary, and Vicki and her Interact kids have always done an amazing job, and everyone that's kind of had a hand in that has done an amazing job. So, that's part of my experience with Rotary, and it's something that I value and treasure, and just being able to support the event from the school side has always been something that I've had an appreciation for doing.
Where did you get the dimples from?
Where did I get the dimples from?
Dimples, yeah.
Oh, I think it's a birth defect. I don't know anyone else. I think the mailman.
Oh.
So this is just the brothers loving on their little sister. This is my wife Shannon, who's a teacher at Bonita High School in Laverne. So she is working 3 days a week right now. She works in digital media, so she's been doing digital media. She's been doing a lot with the online learning right now. So she's very important to kind of what they've been doing. We try to get out a lot. We bought a travel trailer about 3 years ago. I got a used one, and we go camping. And the schedule's been rough right now, but there is a lot of 3-day weekends on the teacher calendar. So I try to get the kids out as much as I can. They have cabin fever. I think there was 1 month, I think in September we counted. It was like 3 weeks since the kids left the house, just because there was nowhere to go, nothing to do. So trying to get them out and do things together as a family. We actually did like a 14-day road trip up the West Coast this summer. So from here to that's Lake Tahoe. That's a Falling Leaf Lake by Lake Tahoe, one of the places we took the kids. So just trying to get them out as much as we can. But we glamp, so we got I have an old projector. We project on the back of the trailer and do movie nights with the kids when we're camping, and all the other kids from all the other campsites come out and try to make it fun and as memorable as we can. So it's actually a lot of work to pull all those things off and those trips off. I feel like as soon as we unpack, we have to pack up again threw out my back the last time. So that's me. That's me. My personal life. Professionally, my background is in special education. I started with an opportunity. I had an outdoor education in Michigan. After I got out of college, I came back to California and worked in a non-public school, special education for students with emotional disturbance. I went to school at night while I was doing that to get my credential and a master's degree. And my first teaching position where I was a classroom teacher was teaching students with severe social and emotional needs in Roland Unified. So a good first start for me. I really got thrown into the frying pan there. I had enrolled in the credential program. I had passed my first certification test. I don't even know that I had started a class in the credential program yet. And they were so desperate for teachers. I got hired the day before school started in Roland Unified. And, you know, with my gumption and just, you know, whatever information I had based on my experience, that's how I started off. So it was a busy first year. I coached at night. I coached football here in West Covina, and I came over to West Covina Unified to teach in 2009, and I transitioned to administration in 2012. So I've been doing that ever since. I've been here. I've been at Edgewood. I've been at West Covina High School twice. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I can't jump that high anymore. This is a picture from the Tribune. This is against like Bishop Amat. We had a big sack. So somebody caught me at peak height right there. I don't know that I can get that high anymore without pulling or tearing something. So that's one of my good friends, Jason Heilman, is the other excited coach in that picture. It was actually in my wedding with me. So just that my history. So not a West Covina native, but my West Covina roots, they run deep. We've had it's been a busy year with teaching. This is our school at Holland Crest went through a floor to ceiling remodel. Like they tore basically every classroom down to the studs. So this is kind of what I walked into when I came over here. I had my whole office staff working from a teacher's lounge. No private office space, no anything. And I think we did that for about like 5 months to start off the school year. So it was a rough start, but we have, because of the bond measure ES, we have like one of the most beautiful campuses inside and out in the district right now. So we're very, very fortunate. So I'll deal with the dust so that we can have the nice things that we have. But this is basically what every class went through, a stage where it looked like this. So and then last year we did about like 5 classes at a time. So 5 teachers would go into these portables and 5 teachers would move into their new classes, and it was just a giant shell game to kind of pull all that off, changing the phone tree and the extensions and everything. So we were able to pull that off. So it's a craft talk. So my approach to my craft really is to support. Number one is to support teachers, and number one leads into number 2, and that's why that's number 1. Know your staff, know their needs, and build up their strengths. I'm fortunate that I have a very, 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 very savvy staff here, a very tech-centric staff that was really ready to go into the remote learning. And they in turn support students, which is number 2. So for me, to get to know the kids and meet them where they're at. So I'm at the point now where, you know, there's not a name that comes across my screen or a phone call that comes in where I don't have at least some visual reference or some knowledge base on that student. And we kind of pride ourselves in that, and our counselors do a great job of that. We have 750 kids right now. So for us to be able to kind of know each student or have at least a touch moment, like where we see them in class or something that we could reference, either a sporting event, something that we can initiate a conversation with the kids about, we try to do that. So, and then we also try to support our families. I try to over communicate and include families in the decision-making process to the extent you're able. That's what every principal should do. So I really try to over communicate, because right now there's a lot of questions about what's going on and what we're doing and what direction that we're headed. So I try to communicate as much as I can. So people come to me, and my teachers especially ask me for things and for projects and support, and I really try to say yes unless I have a reason to say no. So it's been an interesting, so you guys know this is my second year as principal. My first year as principal was last year when we went into remote learning. So that was my experience was the construction, and then we're like, oh, we got our buildings done. We're moving into our new buildings. And then the remote learning started, and now we started this year in remote learning. So it's been a lot. So I think it's really important that you are supporting these people, supporting teachers. If you guys see a teacher, you need to thank a teacher because they're doing, it's a Herculean effort right now in terms of what they're pulling off. So, and they're doing it from my side, I can tell you that they're doing it very well. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. Might have to limit it to 3 because I have a staff meeting in 3 minutes. So
Good timing.
Good time, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
So
Well done.
Very good job, Joe. We'll let you go to your staff
Good
meeting.
job.
Yeah, good
do you guys
job,
have any
Joe. Thank
questions?
you.
Anything?
No,
No, thank you very much, Joe. We're really glad you're joining and look forward to. The only one thing I'd like to know is, do you have a project you're interested in working on for the club?
Well, no, I think I got to feel it out a little bit. We talked about a couple of different things. Supporting that last project that the guys are talking about is interesting to me. I gotta say that's kind of an interesting project.
Yep.
Just because tech in general in the United States tends to roll over so quickly and antiquate at such a rate that it becomes non-opt before the usable life is over a lot. So I think there's a lot of devices out there that could be repurposed to support what the low yield and the low workload that those devices would need for the kids like in a lab. So that's things I was thinking about as I was watching that. Red Ribbon, anytime that circles around to us being able to do an in-person event, like I'm going to circle back to that too. So, but I think as I get to progress through a year with the club, I'll be able to gain exposure to all those different things and see where I can fit in and support. All
right. Well, I think we'll move on to the announcements and things since we.
Thank you, guys.
Had
Thank
to get
you.
your
Thank
speeches in.
you.
So thanks a lot.
Have a great day, team.
You too.
Hi, Joe.
Have a nice afternoon. There he goes. All right. One announcement. I want a couple of announcements real quick. Tony Villanueva gave me a real nice article that she got from the Highlander, and it talks about the Woman of the Year presentation that was made, and also the Heart of the Valley that was done. They did a real nice write-up. I've scanned it. I'll put it in the Trumpet next week.
Nice.
The other announcement is for the meeting on November 4th. I'll be on vacation, so you guys don't have to suffer with me. But Mr. Jose Gutierrez will take care of the meeting, and
Is that meeting going to be about?
Brian is gonna be the Zoom administrator. Go ahead, Ken. What?
Yeah, is that November 4th, the meeting of Jose is going to be all about the election?
yeah.
Well, yeah.
And can I make an announcement?
Yeah, go.
Dennis? Yeah, got it. I wanted to make an announcement to let you guys, we need to drum roll. So I'm going to put you a drum roll because I want to announce the school that won that raised the most money and who gets the $1,000 grant that we are going to award. And I'm happy to announce that this year we have a different school, and I'm proud to announce that San Jose Charter Academy is the winner this year for the most amount of funds raised. So thank you, Tony, for that and getting your people involved in that. And so I'll be issuing check requests per our treasurer's policy to try to get some of those checks made out for San Jose Charter, because they raised $1,450, and I think we have some fees that we had to take, so the check will be for $1,435 that will make out to San Jose Charter. We're going to mail it to Tony so he can make a presentation at his board. And And I don't know, Tony, if you want to say anything about your school's
Yeah.
participation and how it went, and
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I think you know, it was definitely a different type of an event and something that we weren't used to. But I think I mean, from the outside, it looked really successful. One of the things I tried to do with our school is I made a challenge to them. So as a board member on the board, I wanted to match their matches, and so that seemed to help. I mean, it really got them motivated, engaged in the process. So I am pleased to accept the
yeah,
thing, and you know, a couple things. One is, you know, I want to thank everybody that was part of this, especially you, Yolanda. I mean, it's crazy that we had nothing virtual and we created something this year out of nothing, and how successful it was. And you know, all the participation that was happening, Vicky being such an advocate for the Interact, and you know, Dave like biking every week, and all sorts of things. I think it was great. I think next year, I think we can make this bigger and better. But thank you so much, Yolanda, for doing
sure.
this.
Sure, yeah, and we need to thank our sponsorship chair for making sure to reel those big gifts in, Mr. Smith. We really appreciate that, and all of you, Dennis with his love of going in and doing all the reporting and the internet stuff. He's always a good person to have as a support system. The other schools that will be getting checks because they did meet the minimum is the West Covina Interact Club will get a check for $343.50, Vicki. So you can let the chair know them that they did have a good fundraiser.
Okay.
And then West Cove Elementary will get $160.50. But I think this is Valerie's first year at West Cove, so I think it was hard getting everybody sort of reeled in. So it'll hopefully be better. All the T-shirts and participant medals will be going out by the end of the week. My husband is dutifully doing a honeydew task of getting those out for me and putting them in the packages and putting the medals together and collecting the T-shirts. And so we'll be dropping off at West Cove, dropping off at West Covina High, and then mailing to San Jose Charter individually, because those students come a little bit further away and they're not really in the community. So I think next time what I'll do is I'll actually share the live medals, because they actually came out. Thank you, Dr. Lund, for underwriting them. The participant medals are really, really nice, Ken. They're much nicer than this. So I'll share them at our next meeting so you guys can actually see what they look like. Okay, but thank you all of you for participating on this effort. I think I just got a email from Catholic Charities. They're trying to raise money in San Gabriel Valley through a virtual 5K where they can run, bike, or swim or whatever. So people are kind of jumping on trying to take advantage of these opportunities.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Tony. We'll work on getting that. I'll get the check request sent, and then the treasurer, I'm sure, will get it over to you.
All right, thank you. How about everybody give Yolanda a round of applause for this? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. No.
It was an interesting event this year.
Yeah.
Not the least of which was due to outside issues that we had no control over. So. Good job, Yolanda.
Yeah, but it also got me. I did my very first 5K. I really did run and do a 5K myself. So yeah. So it was, I know exactly what my 5K run is. And I went home and talked to my husband. I said, I need to get this time down. So he said, okay, we'll work on it. So for next year.
Okay. Jose and everybody, I don't know, it went by pretty quick, probably in the meeting. I have the video that they provided and their PowerPoint. I will put that out on the drive and have links to it. So in the trumpet, so everybody will be able to see it in their own and copy it if they want to and all of that. So Jose, you missed the video they provided, but it was really, really nice. It was really nice. So, and it has you and Vicky prominently displayed. Unmute. Jose, unmute.
I didn't have the code. I tried and tried, and I kept on getting the meeting for 7 p.m. tonight. So I didn't have your code.
Yeah, no, that, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I got it to
They
you
got a
as
lot
soon
of
as I
love,
could.
Jose. They got a lot of love from the rest of the members. So we enjoyed seeing them. They got a lot of love. Yeah.
And thank you, Jose, for setting everything up because it was really a good thing that they're doing.
The world is so small, right? To have our brothers from Mexico join us virtually at a meeting was really, it's just so small, isn't it? The world is so small because of the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the quality of the transmission and everything is really amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Okay, I think that's all I had.
We have a board meeting. You want to remind people about the board meetings tonight?
We've got the board meeting tonight,
Oh,
7
tonight?
o'clock.
Oh, no. Not now?
No, not
No.
now. Not now, not never. So
Why was that?
let's go ahead and I'll do the four-way and we can call it a day.
Well, I'll have to do it while I'm driving.
First, is it the truth?
It's the truth.
Second,
Is it said all third?
third,
Will it build goodwill and
better
friendship?
friendships. And fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And fifth,
Is it fun?
Is it fun?
make sure it's fun. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tonight
Yep.
and then next week.
Okay.
Take care and have a nice, cool week.
Then
R-O-T, they are one.